All right, guys, this video is going to be highly entertaining for anyone that's into the interesting anomalies in history or the conspiratorial types, stuff like that. I noticed this stuff. I'm just cursed with that. I want you guys to tell me what you think. Is this a mere coincidence in the numbers? Or is this a sign of some kind? Is there something more to this? What do you guys think? I actually do have an opinion of what this all means once I show it to you. But I want to hear what you think below in the commentary, okay? So, in history, you guys remember this? Taking history, kind of boring, right? It's only boring to a kid, I suppose. There's a lot of interesting stuff in history, okay? We all remember having to, memorize the dates of big events, like the beginnings of wars, the end of wars, and stuff like that. So if you got a history buff sitting with you today watching this video, this is a good time where you can replay it for them. Like, you can hit the pause button. So take command of the mouse or the phone or whatever. You have the pause button. And if they're like Mr. Smart History Guy, always telling you how smart they are, we're going to play a game. We're going to quiz them. All right, what are the dates, basic history dates? And they can, show how smart they are when you pause the button for them, okay? Not trying to sow discord. Sorry about that. I just can't help it. So, World War I. According to most history books, I'll define my terms here. According to most history books, what you would look up, in conventional mainstream history is kind of what we're going for. When did World War I start? And most of us know that, like, when it ended, because they made armistice, right? And it later became part of an American holiday that they changed the name of because of certain things. Like, it was not the war to end all wars, unfortunately. When did World War I start? All right, pause it and quiz your history buddy. Well, it was the summer of 1914, right, guys? Well, what date? It was the 28th of July, 1914. All right? Okay, cool. If you got that right, man, you're a smart one. Not a lot of people would probably remember that unless you're into history. World War II. And by the way, if you don't remember that number, that's fine. That's why they have these things called books. Engineers say that all the time. Hey, there's a reason I have this little engineering red book. I don't need to remember all the different constants and values. Right? So I'm not trying to get you with that factoid there. Okay, World War II. When did World War II start? We're just having fun here, guys. December 7th, 1941. A date which will live in infamy. Right? That's when we started. Okay, good job. But when did the war start? It started before we got started, right? Like, we weren't even in World War I until a couple years later, right? What about World War II? When did that one start going? Well, it was actually the 1st of September. In what year? 1939. Very interesting. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Now, we can't call this one World War III yet. But let's just look at this, okay? Invasion of the Ukraine. When did that start? Anyone know? It wasn't that long ago, right, guys? The 24th of February, 2022. Now, when you look at this here and you see these numbers, do you guys see anything interesting here? I don't know, maybe you got to have a cryptological brain or something, okay? So I'm going to do this for you, just to prove I'm not crazy. Okay, so let's put this where we can see it. I'll move this over a little bit. All right, so 28, the 28th day, plus 7th month, plus the century number is 19, plus the 14th year. Okay, equals what? 68. What the heck is up with that? Okay, well, let's see what's going on here. First day of the 9th month, 19th deal there, century, right? Well, not the 19th century, but the century deal. And then 39, 68. 24th day of the second month, 2022. Jeez. 24th day plus second month, 20 plus 22. Oh, man. I should edit that out probably, huh? Not going to do it. Too lazy. Okay. What the hell's up with that? Anyone have any theories what's going on with that? Now, you know, a lot of these cats really enjoy their numbers, broadcasting, their hierarchy, the externalization of the hierarchy, numerology, ancient occult stuff, right, etc. What do you guys think? Coincidence? Some guys are going to say, like, what I thought is like, well, how come you separate the year in half? Well, you know, how they play with numbers is how they play with them. You could, you know, this is the year, this is the century, right? Month, day. Kind of interesting, isn't it? I have no opinion on what this actually means. I can share that with you guys. I'll talk about that one on Patreon because it might be too scary to publicly say here. Might offend too many people, scare too many people, whatever. I'm just curious. I'm doing this right now. What's 68 plus 68 plus 68? 204, okay. What's 68 times 60? Yeah, hold on. Times 68 times 68. Are these secret code numbers? I don't know. I have no idea. But there's a pattern here, right? That's interesting. So what does this mean? All right, I'm curious to get, you know, you guys are all independent thinkers. You all have your own brain. You all have different experience and different things that you might pop out at you. I'm just curious what the discussion could develop on this because it's just interesting. Now, does this have any bearing on my life or whatever? Well, if I see patterns that this deal is connected to this deal and potentially might be broadcasting a connection here, which just geopolitically, arguably, there's a lot of other real life connections that could make this into something worse. I suppose maybe I'll get more food storage going, water filtration, stuff like that, right? So that's where the rubber meets the road. But that's the case at any time. The world is hanging by a thread at any given moment, right, guys? But if you want to have more in-depth discussion on my end of what I think this means, I'll talk about that on Patreon. What do you guys think below? That's what I want to know. All right, guys. Rex out.